everybody, it is Nicole from iiKiui, and today we are drawing Stella from Winx Club, so let's not waste any time and hop right into the video. As I mentioned in my previous fan art video, I am making the Winx Club characters into a separate series. I have already drawn Flora and Layla, and those videos will be linked in the description, but this series is relatively new, so the playlist is quite short, and hopefully it will grow larger as we continue drawing more characters. I still wanted to give you guys the option to vote on characters, so for the Winx series, only Winx characters will be available to vote on. So for this week, it will just be Bloom, Musa, and Tekna, since I want to finish the main characters first. And then after completing the main characters, you guys can decide on other characters or other transformations. So for the sketch, I wanted to include Stella's scepter because I actually recently rewatched the first 3 episodes of Winx Club just because my sister was rewatching it and telling me about it, and I wanted to watch it as well. And something that I didn't really realize was how quickly Bloom meets Stella, and when she does meet Stella, she has her scepter. I figured that her scepter was pretty important, especially in the beginning, so I decided to make it a part of the drawing, and it also just helped to make the design and pose more dynamic because she was able to hold something. When I was drawing her hair and wings, I actually didn't know if I wanted her hair to be behind or in front of it, but ultimately I decided to put her hair behind because I wanted to test out transparency in markers. Since I'm planning a future tutorial video to show how to create a transparency effect with markers, I kind of wanted to use this as a test run as well. If you're interested in that video, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified of when that video comes out. And then similar to the other fairies that I've drawn so far, I've included their pixies, so I included a moire for Stella. When it came to the coloring, I noticed that I rarely use this bold yellow color in artwork. I think because I tend to favor more warm, honey-toned yellows compared to the bold, cool-toned yellow. So this is probably one of the very few times that I've used this yellow in my artwork. For the color palette, it was pretty simple. Since Stella's hair was yellow, her outfit was orange, and her accessories were blue, which I now notice is a complementary color choice. I decided to just do the flat colors for everything first in this drawing. I'm not sure why, because usually I tend to work in sections, but this time I decided to just go all flat color first. And then afterwards I added the shading. And something that I forgot to take into account when I was adding the shading was the lighting that I was planning to make with the scepter. I think if I had remembered, then I would have made the highlights on her outfit and everywhere be much more dramatic and have a higher contrast, but unfortunately I did not. And speaking of the rays of light, for each Winx girl so far, I've included an indication of their powers, with Flora having her leaves and flowers, and Layla having her Morphix powers. So I wanted Stella's scepter to shine. And at first I was thinking of doing little bubbles of light, but I thought it would be much more dramatic having her scepter have rays of light come out of it. And when I was planning it, I was thinking of making it a gradient. So in order to do that, I used the same colors as her hair, but I lightened it with a colorless blender so that it wouldn't be the exact same tone as her hair, but still have that glowing, shining effect. As for the line art, I just used colored pens just to keep it consistent with the other girls, and I'll probably continue to use colored pens for future Winx characters. And one of the last details I added was the white gel pen to make up for the lack of highlights and to also add these sparkles, which are very important. Overall, I really like how she turned out. I feel like I'm slowly improving with each fan art piece, which is very motivating, and I'm happy with how the characters look in my style. As I mentioned earlier, don't forget to vote for the next character with Bloom, Musa, or Tecna as the options. You can either vote by replying to my comment or voting in your own, either one works. And feel free to leave your own suggestions of other Winx characters that you'd like to see me draw. I'll make sure to start a very long list because I'm sure you guys have plenty of great ideas. So with that, I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. Keep drawing, keep creating, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!